Hey everybody, it's Lebo with Lebo's Pinball. And we are back here again on this Prospector. This is part 3 of what's up with this broke game. And I tell you, Mr. Hunley, your comment on the last video was dead on. It broke. This game is broke. Now I will tell you, speaking of broke, um, I've moved to go ahead and pulling out the circuit panel board, whatever we want to call it, out of the cabinet and just start really kind of digging into it and just check everything out. Because the approach that I'm really doing with this game is just sort of really going through really every switch. Just check them, make sure they're clean, make sure they're gapped right, that they're closing when they're supposed to close and opening when they're supposed to open. All that stuff. Make sure we don't have like something that may have gotten bumped and bent and now something's short circuited. Or maybe you've got a wire that's come loose. And speaking of which, take a look right here. Right when I was pulling everything out, we've got, I was coming along here just pressing around, just looking at some of these wires. I get to a spot here and, oh, looky right here. Here's a wire that's not connected at all. And I like to say it's sort of camouflaged, meaning you don't really see it real well until you start getting real close. So, anyways, as I start moving all these around, some of that stuff starts to surface. I don't really know what that wire is because it is hard to tell. It is so dirty and faded somewhat. I will have to look. It looks like it might be, golly, maybe purple with a yellow tracer on it. I don't know. And like I mentioned earlier, the schematic for this game is not the clearest in the world, a little hard to look at. And I mean that just like the image quality of it, let alone sometimes it's hard to understand or just interpret um, different states of the game, states of certain switches, just by looking at the schematic. At least I've had a hard time with it. You can look at the schematic and it tells you, I believe, the state of the game when it sits at a ready state, like when you start a game, and there you go. But anyways, I'm going to dig in here, just start going through everything. We're going to go ahead and take care of this one switch or this one wire. Heck, I don't know. That might be responsible in a lot of stuff that's causing us some issues. But nevertheless, we're going to go through these stepper units, make sure they're good. Go through this scoring motor, make sure all those switches are good, and I got to be real careful with not inducing a problem to bending something that's just not quite right. I've done that before. Guilty. But hang tight. Let's get rolling. So one other thing that I noticed that is not really broken, but certainly not functioning correctly on this game, and this is a seems like okay, very mild thing, but to me it's important. Having a grounded cable. So if you take a look at this, we've just got the the hot and the neutral that are on here. There's actually a ground that's on here, but uh, at least the receptacles that I'm used to here in the United States, they don't actually contact that for ground. And how do I know that's ground? I mean, if this green right here is definitely ground. It's going over to the base of the transformer. Now hold that right there, and sure enough, it's toning right on that. So we're going to take this cord off and put in something that is just more standard. Our just our usual um, connector here, and I could just cut the end off, but I don't like doing that because I'd just rather have a nice solid end the whole way. So we're going to run a whole new cord and run it actually back to this little block. I can probably just use this block. I may solder them in. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this block was actually here factory or not. Could have been. I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and take care of that just as a good measure. I usually keep two or three of these cords around. I think can't remember. I think it's 16 gauge is what I use. I think, and usually I think I go with maybe like a 15-foot long cord. It's usually what I picked up, but definitely swap that out. But let's get into taking all this, all going through everything here on this board and get it all checked out. And there we go. We've got the new cord all in place. I got a new strain relief here, and here is our proper end here. So this is a nice, good, solid quality cord. Um, So it made a lot of sense to go ahead and do that. And also we took care of that one wire that had come loose. I've got that soldered back in place. While I had it out, I went over every single one of all of these, all the relays, checked every switch to make sure that they were clean and that they're properly moving. Same with all of these that are over here. And I've also taken a look here at this, the whole stepper motor. Just taking kind of a look at it, make sure it looks like it's right. And it all seems to be. The other thing that I did do is on both of these stepper units, they also were not moving real good. They were kind of gummed up a little bit. This one was mostly okay, but took it apart, cleaned it, and it's definitely working a little bit better. It's working fine. Does what it needs to do. This one was a little bit worse, but on top of it, this whole switch stack in here, it was kind of bent a little funny, and I could tell the contacts basically were not really opening when they needed to open and close when they needed to close. So, but basically, it's working a whole lot better now. So, let's see, with all those positions, you can see that it actually is now closed. And then now when I hit this, it's kind of hard to tell on the camera, but so you can show it here. I think both of them are opening. You need to make sure that bottom one is. It's a little hard to see here, like I said in the video, but I think it is actually opened. But I will check it just to make sure again. But it's stuff like that. Just had to kind of check out real close. And then now we're going to go ahead and take this board and go ahead and throw it back in the game, and let's see what kind of difference it makes. So we got the that circuit board panel, whatever we want to call it, down in the cabinet, put back in place, and it is hooked up to the back box. We've got the play filled in, and it is also connected. So let's go ahead and power it up. I've got the plug in the socket. Let's see what happens. All right, so we got our power. All right, cross your fingers. Let's hit the start button. Ooh, okay. Player one up. Got the one first ball in play, but it still did not shoot the ball over. So that's no good. Let's see what happens if we hit this. See if we go to player two. No. Oh, there it went. That time it did. So there's player three and player four. Hey, okay. Well, that's good. Made some progress. Let's get this ball over. So if the ball plays, what happens if it hits? All right, we got some activity. And all right, let's see if it drains. What happens? Nothing. Dang it. Ah. All right. Something's humming. It's not a good sign. It could be a stuck relay. Let's go ahead and kill the power. That way we don't make issues worse. All right. Well, we're getting closer. I'll tell you what. The theme of this game is broke. That is it. This game is broke. And we'll see how far we go until we say, all right, pull the line, let her sink in the ocean. I don't know. I don't think we're going to do that. But I've really only had one other game where I fought with it for so long that I was just like, I got to get this thing out of here. And it went to someone else, and it was actually a fairly new person working on games, and they got it figured out. And that was great. Glad that they did. But I'm not giving up on this one just yet. But we're gonna keep digging in. It's got to be there somewhere. All right, this is it for today. This is all I'm gonna do because I'm tired. But thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.